What's up, guys? In my last 3 videos, we talked about basic binds, how to play claw, and even custom binds. Today, we're going to be talking about the last thing you need to know before we get into building and editing. We're talking about sensitivity and main settings that you need to know. Let's get into the video. I'm dead, man! He's one tap? Bro, he's one tap! My gun's not shooting! My gun's not shooting! I think I need some help on this game. It's getting kind of lame. I need a how-to. You're right here, somebody say how-to. Well, this is how-to with Professor Drippin'. Let's get it. Hey guys, I'm Professor Drippin', and as you know from the intro, we're talking about sensitivity settings and some basic settings that you need to know in the game of Fortnite. Let's get into it. Alright, now let me show you how to get in settings. So, on your controller, you want to use options. It's your right on the right side. You press options, it's that little button right there, and you press X to confirm into the options. Now you want to see brightness, user interface contrast, colorblind mode, colorblind strength, motion blur, show FPS. Now, I personally don't even know what user interface contrast is. Do you? You don't? That's why you came to the video? Oh. Now, let's get to the brightness. So the brightness can be up to 150. It gets very bright. I don't use the colorblind settings. Colorblind since I used to use it. I used to use Try to Know 10, but then it got very bright and I wanted it too bright and my gameplay just started getting fast and then smooth and fast every other day. So I don't recommend the colorblind setting, but if you did play colorblind setting, Pro to Know is probably the best. It's probably a little dark for you though, so recommend starting on no brightness and no colorblind. Next we have matchmaking region. Alright, now you see I'm in NA East, and the farther away I'm in Middle East. The Middle East has 524 ping, and NA East has 68 ms. So when you get to N68 ms, that's how much ping you have in game. You want to have this to the closest region you at. Auto puts you at the lowest ping you can get. So if you turn it on auto, I'm gonna still be at NA East because that's my lowest ping. Now we have language. You want to have whatever language you speak. If you speak Japanese, you want to put your text in Japanese. But I speak in English, so I have United States English. Now we have toggle to sprint. You can just push this forward and you sprint. If you have sprint by default on, you can do the same thing. We push your left stick forward and you just sprint. Now we have sprint cancels reloading. You don't want to turn that on because when you reload, if you press square and you reload, you don't want to try to sprint too, and then you start reloading and you think you're reloading. So don't turn that on. Auto open doors. In game, I'm about to show you what auto open doors does. Oh, let me change it to another language. Let me change it. I'll change it to Turkey. Alright, now my language is back. Alright, when you have auto open doors on, if you edit a door and you try to walk through it, you can automatically open it. But if you don't have auto open doors on, as I'm finna turn it off, you try to walk through a door and you sit there. You have to take the extra step just to push square. I don't recommend auto open doors off. I recommend it on. You should turn auto open doors on all the time. Now we have hold the slot to pick up. So if I drop a gun and I hold it, if I hold square, it will swap whatever gun I have in my inventory for the gun that I just tried to pick up. So I recommend that on. Now we have toggle targeting. When I'm aiming in, I can see people. When I'm aiming in with my shotgun right now, I'm targeting danger when I see danger. That's what targeting is. If you put toggle to targeting on. I recommend that off though, because toggle to targeting is when you press L2 and you try to get out of it, but when you press it down, you're stuck in it, because toggle to targeting is when you keep when you don't have to hold it down to toggle. So you don't have to press it twice just to get out of L2. So I don't recommend that on. Auto pick up weapons. You shouldn't have auto pick up weapons on, because when you run across a weapon, you automatically pick it up, and I don't recommend that on unless you play Save the World, which is another game Fortnite has in the game of Fortnite. So auto sort consumables to the right. So when you pick up like minis or a big pot, you want to have auto sort consumables to the right, because when you pick them up, you don't want to have them, and you don't want to have to rearrange your inventory every time. So you want to have auto sort consumables to the right on. The next setting we have is reset build choice. When you reset build choice, if you run out of wood in game, you can switch instantly to brick, and if you run out of brick, you switch instantly to metal. So you want to have metal, brick, and wood. You want to have reset build choice on. Oh, so I didn't even tell you guys. To confirm, you just press triangle. To confirm, when you turn the setting on or off, it says apply on my screen. You just press triangle. It shows you at the bottom. So now we have disable pre-edit option. When you pre-edit, you can edit and you can pre-edit. So when you pre-edit, you have your L3 option on your builds right now, even if you didn't place a build. I do not recommend this on, because when you're in a build fight, you can pre-edit something by accident and get shot because you pre-edited your wall or your floor. So I will turn that on so you can't pre-edit. Next we have turbo building. You want to use turbo building. You want to use turbo building. When you turbo build, you can just press it once or hold it down and you can build. But when you don't use turbo build, you have to press each and every buttons twice. You have to 1, 1, 1, 1. It's so annoying. So you want turbo building on, most definitely. Next we have confirm edit on release. When you confirm edit on release, you can edit a wall. And when you edit a wall, you can press your edit button, which is L3 for me. And you can press your select button, which is R1 for me. And you can press this, let it go, and it automatically edits. But if you edit with L3, confirm with circle, as you can see, edit with L3, confirm with circle, you can not press circle. But I don't recommend this on. It's not a good setting. It also messes you up because you can edit something and you think you edited it, but you didn't turn up disable pre-edit options. It's so annoying when you do that as well. So I would recommend to turn edit on confirm on release off and disable pre-edit options on. So now we have invert view. Invert view is not good. As you can see, I was trying to edit and I was moving my R3 down, but I was looking up. Invert view is not good. You want to turn it off at all times on any game you play, unless you're just a demon like that. But invert controls, invert anything, you should turn that off. You don't want anything on. Turbo build, delete in creative mode. I'm in my own map right now, so if I built something and I wanted to turbo build it, you just bind that. But I don't turbo build delete in creative because I don't play my map like that. But maybe you should turn it on if you want to become a map builder. But any other reason, no. Tap to search. If you wanna reboot your friends in game, you can drop loot as you're rebooting because you have tap to search. When you press your square button, you don't have to hold it down. You do not have to hold it down. You can just tap it once and it searches chests, reboots your friends for you. And that's good. But if your square button is a little broken, it won't work. So keep that on until your square button is broken and then you're gonna have to hold it down. Now that's it, because all these other settings are already automatically off. But that's the second page of settings, and that's what you want to do on your second page. Third page, we have game UI. Now this deals with HUD scale and HUD settings. Your HUD is basically your map keys, your inventory and all of that, and your quick map. So I'm gonna tell you what to do. You do not want to have your HUD scale at 100, and you don't want to have it above 80. You don't want to have it below 50 because you can't see nothing at 40. See, you barely can see anything on your screen. Now, if you play on a big TV, you want to have at least 80 or 90. Because on the TV, on a big TV, it's better. But on a monitor, which I'm playing on, you should have a 63, a 60 to a 70 HUD scale. I use 63 personally, which is good for me because I can see everything and it feels good. So I recommend a 63. Now we have show spectator count. When you show spectator count, you can see the little eyeball like in any game. You can see the little eyeball moving around at the bottom of your screen. You can keep that on. It's not really going to affect anything. And I like to see my spectator count. Your reticle, if you turn this off, you can't see your shotgun shot. You can't see your crosshair. You can't see where you're placing your builds like that. So I recommend that on to keep your crosshair placement better. We have player health. If you turn this off, you can't see how much HP you are. If you need to take a mini or a big pot, you need to keep player health on. Resources, you want to have that on. In arena or even in a pub game, you want to know how many resources you have based on how many resources you farm. So if you don't see that, you don't know how many you have. If you have one build, you're going to be like, oh, I have mats, but you really don't. You can't see your resources. So keep that on. Mini map, you want to keep that on. If you can't see your mini map, as you can see on the right side of my screen, you can't see anything no more. But when I turn that back on, you can see player. You can even see if you're in creative, players around you. If you have that kind of map, you can see where people marked on the mini map. Mini map is very good and very versatile in the game. You have quick bar. Quick bar allows you to see your inventory without pressing your up on the D-pad, which is your inventory button. You can see it, but when I press circle, which is getting out, you only see my mats. You don't see my quick bar, and you want to have your quick bar on. Now we have target info. When you have target info, that's your edit bind. I edit with L3, as you know, but you cannot see my L3 bind on there. All you see is a wall. You don't see anything. So you want to have your edit info, especially if you're just starting a game and you're losing track of what you edit with. You want to definitely have edit on. Pick up loot stream. I don't recommend that because I really don't use it and it doesn't help me play the game better and it doesn't further my game, so I don't use it. So I recommend that off, and it feels good when you turn it off. It makes your gameplay smoother. Next we have map and backup keys. Now I personally do not use this setting. This setting is unnecessary for me because I'm literally a veteran at the game. But anyways, map and backup keys allows you to see what you need to press. So like if you have your map as down on the D-pad as I do, you can see in game down on the D-pad on the side of your screen, but it makes me feel unsmooth, so I don't use this. Elimination feed, you want to see if you get a kill, you want to see your name in the elimination feed, and you want to see people that die around you, so you should use elimination feed on. Net bug status. So as you can see, I have 68 ms and I have 31 ping in game. So you want to see that you have 30 ping in game. You want to see how much ping you have at all time. You should always aim for lower ping, but you have to buy good internet for that or fight internet boosters. But you want to see your net bug status. Now, if you have quest progress on, you really grind the game and you're really just playing for fun. You're not playing to get better, so I don't recommend quest progress. Quest progress is just if you do a challenge, they show you what you did, but I don't recommend it. Now we have reticle and ammo indicator. This is a good one to have on. I don't personally use it. See, when I shoot a shotgun, you see on the side of my screen, my reticle, next to my reticle, down on the right, you see that my reticle indicator is going down because I'm losing shots in my shotgun. You have 5 shots in a shotgun, 30 shots in an AR and an SMG, so it's a difference. But when you reload, you see your reticle indicator. So I don't use reticle indicator, but you can use that. It's good for new players and newcomers to the Fortnite game. Now we have controller prompts. I don't use this. I don't even know what it is, to be honest with you. I turn it off And the last one is routine performance. It's just what you do in the game. I don't use this at all either, so I turn it off. And as you can see, I use 63 HUD skills, show spectator count, reticle, player health, resources, mini map, quick bar, target info. I don't use player loot stream, map and backpack keys, elimination feed, net bud status, and that's it. Alright, I don't play on keyboard. As you can see, I play on controller, PS4 controller, so we skip that one. Now we're on controller settings. Okay, you have controller auto run. Controller auto run is when you click your L3 twice. This is only if you don't have sprint by default on. If you have sprint by default on, you don't need controller auto run on. So I turn it off because I don't use hold down and I edit with L3. But if you tap it in game, you can tap it twice and you can run forward without touching your controller. That's a good setting to have if you play like that still, but nobody really uses it anymore. Build immediately. So when you use custom settings, you're on Builder Pro. So you want Build Immediately, Builder Pro on, because then you can place your build immediately. Turbo building helps, and this helps too. Next, you have your edit hold time. So when you're in game, that's only if you edit with Builder Pro, and usually in the old days you had to hold circle to edit or hold your edit button to edit, and I don't recommend holding it down. So you want to put this, it says 200 seconds to 0.200 seconds, which is 0.2. You don't want to have that edit delay time, so always turn it off to 0. Vibration is in games when you shoot or anything, you feel vibration in your controller. I don't like it. It makes me feel trash at the game, so I turn it off. All right, now we're in the good stuff. Okay, so you have sensitivity down. Sensitivity is very good in game. It can be anything all the way up to 5.0 to 3.0. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna tell you my sense and how you should set up your sense, and let's get into it. So you don't want to use sensitivity, the first two, as you see on my screen. You don't want to use these first two. These first two are not good. You want to have advanced options on. You go down, you turn that on, and then you press X to apply, and it tells you a little caution, but you don't need to worry. Now, build mode sensitivity. My sensitivity is at 1.9. 1.9 is my sensitivity, right? I would say a good sensitivity to start at is 1.8 or 1.7, and then go up from there. You can go as far as 5.0, and you can go as low as 0.1, and you can't move at all on that. I use 1.9. 1.9 is very good. I've seen a lot of good players using it, and I love 1.9. Now, build mode sensitivity is just when you pull out your builds, which I pull out with triangle. You pull them out, and then when you build, it moves a certain width. Like, you can move your controller out how much you want, but if you don't have a good setting in the game, it's gonna feel slow. So you need to have a good sensitivity in game. And when you edit, it's the same thing. Select with R1, you use your select button, and it feels fast or slow depending on your sensitivity. Now I use 2.5. 2.5 is a good one for me. 2.5 is very good. I would recommend using 2.5, but if you don't use 2.5, you should start at 2.0 and go up from there. Or if you want to be a smooth player, which I don't recommend being, you go from like 1.9 and go up from there, but that's a slow edit sensitivity. You want to be edit fast on your enemies. Next, we have advanced look sensitivity. We have look horizontal speed and look vertical speed. Horizontal is left and right, vertical is up and down. So when you're looking up and down and left and right, these the sense for you. I use 45. It can go as far as 100%. 100% is too fast. You never want to use that. Your aim is going to be horrible. Now, I use 45. You can switch it up. You can make a 36-45 or a 46-45, depending on how fast you think your horizontal or look speed should be. Horizontal or vertical, but I keep it at the same sense because it feels really nice to me. And you should definitely use around, you shouldn't go above 50. I think you shouldn't go as low as 20 30, 31 is the highest. I mean the lowest. Now we're on turning boost. Turning boost is basically when you want extra boost to your player. So if you're turning and your since it's very, very slow, you can turn your boost all the way up to 100% and it'll become very, very fast. I don't recommend boost. Boost is not good. Boost is, you should just use regular settings. And you want to turn all of that off. You have 3 settings: turning horizontal boost, turning vertical boost, and turning ramp time. You want to turn all that off, and you want to not have instant boost on. You want to turn that off as well. Now we have, when you're aiming in with L2, this is how fast your sensitivity is. It goes from 100, it goes to 100 to 0. So I would recommend a solid 20 and up. A 20 and up is good. A 20 and up is very good. So I use 23. As you can see in game, I'm dragging my R3 and I'm aiming in. When I aim in, it goes, when I don't aim in, it goes faster. But when I aim in, it slows down. So when you use something like a 12 or a 5, it's so bad. Like when you use a 5, you can't track anybody. When I use a 5, I'm aiming in. Look how slow that is. No, you shouldn't use that at all. I recommend a 20, but a 15 or 16 is good as well. So 20 and up. I use 23. You can use my sense, but I don't recommend anything lower than that because as you can see, you can't track anybody. And you don't want to have turning boost on because that boosts your aim. And if you like it the way it is, if you turn boost on, it's going to make it really, really bad. Now we have look dampening time. You don't want to have that on. I don't know if this setting does. Sad to say, but I don't. Okay, now we have input curve. We have exponential and linear. Exponential is very slow. It's very choppy. I don't recommend using exponential. I recommend using linear. Linear I use and it's very, very good. Linear is very good to me, so I think you should use it. Maybe start on exponential though and grow into linear because linear is very fast. It's the faster version of exponential, as you can see. When I edit, I had 2.5 and I'm really moving I'm not moving it that much, but it's still moving very fast. So you want to smooth into linear. Now, we have left stick and right stick dead zone. Dead zone is basically everybody, if you know what controller drift is, it's when your character drifts to the side without you moving your controller, which is an indication that your controller is a little bit breaking. So if you have bad drift, I know somebody that used 95 dead zone. You don't want to use 95. I use 8.8. Even if I don't have drift, I use 8.8. 8.8 is a good dead zone. 5.5 is fast, and when you go up, when you keep going up, it gets smoother and smoother. And when you get too high, it's choppy. So I wouldn't recommend a 95 or a 50. I recommend like a 15. A 20 is the highest you should go. A 20 is the highest you should go, and the lowest you should go is 5, because 5 is really good too. I used to play on the high sense, but now I'm playing the smooth sense. In the foot controller, we don't use that, so I just have that setting off. Next, we have sound. So, when you plug in your headphone to your game, you put it on, and you have music. Music should not be on at all unless you want to hear music in game and lobby. That's not dealing with Spotify or anything. That's dealing with game sound in Fortnite. Dialogue, they do a little events in game, and you can hear people talking, but I don't use that. Cinematics, you don't need that either. You don't need any of that. Picture in picture, you don't need any of that. It's just more sound taking away from your sound. Voice chat. If you have a good mic, you shouldn't use voice chat 100, but you can use voice chat 100. Sound settings is really not that much to talk about because it's all basically the same, but sound effects, you want to hear people, so I use 100, but you can use like a 50 if you have a good headset. I have a good headset, you can turn it up and down, but I use 100 and I just keep my stuff on the medium. Now we have 3D headphones. It advances your headphones hearing, so you can hear your headphones, like you can hear better in your headphones. I use 3D headphones And now we have subtitles. You want to click into subtitles and you want to turn all of this down to the farthest left. So you want to turn subtitles off, text size extra small, white, border none. And you want to turn background opacity off, all of that off. Now, you want to have, if you have visual sound effects is basically where you can see people's feet if you don't have a better mic. Or if you have a good mic, it's a double time, so you can't have both of them on. So if you have visual sound effects on, you can't have 3D headphones on because it's just not fair. Now, visual sound effects allow you to see people if they're crouching. You really can't hear in the headphones as well. If you have visual sound effects on, you can see them crouching. So I recommend visual sound effects on if you're in a tournament or something, but I use 3D headphones. I have a good headset. Now, we have voice chat. It's just how you talk, and if you want to hear people in the chat, you have push to talk where you can bind to if you want to have a D-pad and you want to talk to people. Or if you have a keyboard next to you, you can push that down and you can talk. But I use voice chat open mic. I can just mute my mic and turn it on. Now, voice chat notifications. That's just when you see people talking through the mic, and it's like voice indicators. Is not really, you can keep it on. It doesn't do anything to your game. House party chat, I turn that off. I don't have house party. And that's it. That's really it. We made it to the end, and that's how you use your settings. I'm gonna show you guys a little free build real quick. I just got on, I'm rusty. I do a triple edit, quad edit, nice. I'm so good, man, I'm so good. But that's how you set up your settings. If you wanna tweak them a little bit, you don't have to use my settings. You can tweak them a little bit to your gameplay. But thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy my next video.